Hey, what's up everyone? It's Duskmos, and today we're taking a look at this interesting fellow right here, the Boredbrain Patchulator Pro. Let's check it out. So in this Signal Colors palette video, and palette videos are videos where I talk about things that are gear related and pedal adjacent, but not actually pedals. So today, this Patchulator Pro is exactly that. When I say exactly that, I mean it's very pedal adjacent. So it's got all these inputs here, all these TRS jacks all over the back. You can see there's up to 10 stereo channels that you can run in and out of the Patchulator Pro. And what it does is allow you to patch and route your signal in and out through all these stereo jacks. And if you use it in the case of a pedal setup, it allows you to run different pedals into each other and out of each other, and then out and in of the main ins and outs here. And it even has this double controller here where you can choose two different options to route out of these two, or the middle section is just like a bypass. So you can have different configurations wired up and switch them on the fly. There's definitely a bit of a setup curve to this whole situation. So as you can see, I've got it hooked up to a lot of gear here. I've got the Chroma console from Hologram. I've got the Mood Mark II from Chase Bliss, and I've got the Volante from Strymon, as well as the Syntact from Electron providing the source material. And each of them is wired in and out of the Patchulator Pro. So bear with me as I explain how this is all wired up. And I'll probably stitch in some video showing the back panel as I speak here, so be ready for that. But yeah, so starting on channel 1 here, I've got it going out in a TRS jack with an adapter to a mini 1/8 inch cable, and that's going into another 1/4 inch adapter here into the Mood. So that's coming out in stereo, and then in the bottom it's coming back in, which is coming out of the out of the Mood Mark II. So basically think of each of these vertical rows behind each channel strip here as an in and an out to a device. So this whole row, these two jacks here, are just that, going in and out of the Mood Mark II. So same situation here. This is a TRS to 1/4 inch stereo pair going into the Chroma console, and then also returning back from the Chroma console in another TRS jack here. So you're probably getting the picture, and you would understand then that this being channel 10 here, I have the same setup here going in and out of the Volante, both on 1/4 inch TRS jacks, and which is a stereo jack, split into the two, which you can't see, it's just off camera, but split into the two full-size 1/4 inch jacks for left and right, so you can patch it in. You can also use it with mono signals as well. You just have to kind of think about how you want to route it. It's easier to go all stereo or all mono. So it takes a little bit of thinking about your cabling, sort of what cables you have. Obviously, I'm using a lot of these 1/4 inch TRS to the two left and right channel cables. But because the Mood Mark II only has the TRS in and out, and I need to go out of this in and out of TRS, I had to use these mini cables with the adapters. If you had 1/4 inch cables that are TRS on both ends, that would work as well for each, routing, but I just didn't have those at the ready. So then in the middle, you've got a main IO for TRS in and out. So in right here, coming from the Syntact, again on another one of those 1/4 inch TRS to two full-size 1/4 inch jacks. And then this one is the out. And because I'm going into the TX6 from Teenage Engineering, I'm using a mini cable with the adapter on this end, and then the just normal 1/8 inch jack as my stereo input on the mixer, and then straight to the camera. So how do we make all of this happen? How do we make this work? Well, in the box, Boredbrain provides a 10-pack of these TRS little mini stereo jack cables, 5 in green and 5 in black. And you use those to make connections between these different patch points. So basically, you have everything you need out of the box, except for all your connections here to make very interesting audio pathways happen. You wouldn't necessarily have to use this for pedals either. I mean, you could have one device stereo in and out, and then you can effectively like mult it out to multiple sources. Say you had a sampler, you can route and patch, device to device. So if you had a lot of inputs and only a lot of outputs from a lot of devices, and then you only had one set of inputs to record in, say, in like an Octatrack or something, or an MPC or whatever, you can use all these as inputs and then just decide what you patch to that recording input in your sampler. So it can be used like a normal patch bay, but in this very compact format, and it's definitely pedal friendly. So let's start doing a little exploring, and let's check out the features of the Patchulator Pro in action with all of this stuff. So how do we do that? Well, we'll go ahead and start with my clean synth pattern. It's going to be nothing fancy. And that's what we're working with. So let's take a patch cable and make our first connection. So we've got the input, as I said, coming in, and you can see this top row are the receive channels, so that's all the way across, and the bottom are the send channels. So the same goes with what you're kind of multing out of the input here. So yeah. So we can take the send here and we'll map it to the receive of the volante, and then the receive to the send, and we don't hear anything, but that's because we have this middle toggle switch, the 3-position switch in the middle, which is effectively bypassing either this loop that you create or the one on this side. So let's go ahead and switch to that. So now you're getting the volante. So here you can change up your settings. Which is cool. Flip it back to the middle. And we're back to clean. Because it's completely bypassing this send and receive channel that's going to the volante. So it's ignoring these jacks and just normaling the input to the output of this main I/O here. If we switch to the other side, so it would be these two jacks, you'll hear we get nothing, because that is not mapped to anything. It's patched in and out, so you just get silence. And again, no delay because I went to the middle position. And then this side, now it's routing the audio through these channels and going to the volante and back. So now if I want to say, send the audio from the volante into the chroma console and then out, how do we do that? Well, we disconnect and we would go here, receive the volante to the send. And now we're getting lo-fi texture from the chroma console. And I can bypass. and you're still hearing the Volante, so we can bypass that. It's full clean. Volante back. And then Chroma Console on top. Now, if you wanted to, you could flip-flop this order around and with the cabling here and make it so the Syntect would hit the Chroma Console first and then the Volante. And that would just be a matter of how you route the signal. Obviously, you can tweak to your heart's content, find something you like. On the Chroma Console, you can, turn off each of these effect lanes, which is really cool. I'll go ahead and leave that on. And again, you go to the middle, and you just have the clean. And then again, left, you have nothing. Let's go to the left here. So right now, like I said, you've got nothing going on because you have these connected to nothing. So let's connect these to the mood. So when you get audio, you know you're good. I have the mood bypassed right now. That's why you're not hearing any effect going on, but let's change that. Continue to have more and more fun. Again, as you tweak whatever you want, you can hear it, we'll flip it, and now we're back to Volante and Chroma Console with the mood excluded because it's on this patch option. Super cool that they included that. So say you had a pretty wild setup, you're doing a live set or something, you can sort of have these as like pre-configured audio chains that you can make an easy swap between. I probably wouldn't do it live, like as an effect in the middle, because there's a little bit of a pop when you switch, but it's not that bad. You could actually get away with that if you wanted to. And again, clean in the middle. And then Volante and Chroma Console over here. now let's see if we can wire this up to get the Volante and Chroma console going into the mood. So let's kind of break this whole thing up here. We're still going to need the send and receive going in and out of the mood, so we leave these connected. We'll have to hijack some of these cables here. I'm going to take this one, go here. Oh, wait. It's easy to get confused when you're trying to map some of this stuff out. And that's actually why they include the two different colors of cable, so you can try and figure it out. So let's see. We want the receive of that, the mood going here. You want, wait. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start over. All right, let's pull all these out. It's definitely, unless you become like a Patch Bay Pro, it's a little tough to kind of mentally map this out. Okay, so we're gonna go out of the send. Actually, I heard that, so that means this is backwards. I go here into the send of the Volante. Then we're going to take Volante to Chroma. We'll take Chroma to mood. And then we'll take mood to, there we go. Yeah, starting fresh is kind of, I don't know. For me, I haven't all mapped it out yet, and I kind of just set this up to do this demo, and I don't have the routings too memorized. But anyway, you can hear now that we've got the Volante going, Volante into Chroma console into mood, or completely clean in the middle, and as we expect, nothing on the left. Drone base kind of thing. Nice drowned kind of vibe. Go with a little bit of drive on the character channel here on the Chroma console. Kind of can't see it, I've been tweaking over here just off camera. I'm getting a little lost in the experimentation here. You can see how this would work in a pretty interesting way. And what's great is, you know, if you want to blow up this whole situation here, you can, and all your pedals can stay connected. And if you want, you just go into one of them alone, and you don't have to worry about rerouting everything and disconnecting your whole setup. So you could have a ton of stuff hooked up to this, and then just choose what you want when you want it. And it really makes your whole pedal setup super modular, and that's really, really cool. And there we go. That is the Patchulator Pro and how you might use it in a pedal setup. Really cool. And as you can see, with 10 channels here, you can hook up a ton of stuff. And I just didn't have the table camera space for it all. But yeah, lots and lots of options and opportunities to experiment with how you're sending your signal flow through your chain of devices. And it's really neat, really facilitates those fast reroutings and just like hooking up your setup. And anything like that is a win if you ask me, because it's a time saver, it's a convenience thing. And yeah, I think the pricing is pretty great for this as well too. I believe it's $219 USD at the time of this publication of this video. I think you could totally pay a lot more to do a lot less. And I think that's a super cool value proposition of the Patchulator Pro. Construction wise, it's solid metal. It's just a little brick, and yeah, it feels super sturdy. It's pretty compact, I think, for what it does. Like, you think of patch bays in like a rack mount or something, like those are, I don't know, was that like 19 inches wide or whatever, and you know, you've got some whatever kind of depth, and you got to plug it in. Well, I don't know if you have to power those, but yeah, there's no power involved here. It's all completely passive device. So yeah, no extra power needed, which is also kind of cool and really sort of crazy when you think about it. I mean, I guess it really is just cabling and jacks and stuff, but it just feels like a little bit like some kind of magic in a way, because it's doing a lot. Anyway, that's going to be it for this Signal Colors palette video. Big shout out to Boredbrain for sending this out for me to demo on the channel. Really appreciate that, and I really think a lot of you will find this really useful, especially if you like experimenting with pedals as I do. All right, that's going to be it for me. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.